Biggest corporate news break in recent history, and CNBC TV18 has been on top of the story in a shocking turn of events. Tata Sons has replaced Cyrus Mistry. That is the word that they're using. They have replaced Cyrus Mistry as chairman. Ratan Tata will return as the interim chairman till a new chairman is selected by a committee that's been set up, which also has Ratan Tata, and they say that the committee will come up with a successor over the next 4 months. But here's the inside story that we broke on CNBC TV18 at 6:24 this evening. Sources hinted differences over management issues raised by the Tata Trust for the change of guard. Shapoorji Pallonji Group is learned to have termed Mistry's termination as illegal. In fact, sources say Tata Sons sought legal opinion from legal like former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram and former Attorney General Mohan Parasaran, as well as Justice Ravindran. CNBC TV18 has confirmed from Mohan Parasaran that the Tata Trust did seek his legal opinion before making the move. In fact, now we are breaking even more information on what has transpired at that board meeting. We are given to understand that an informal decision to replace Cyrus Mistry was taken about a fortnight ago by the senior leadership of Tata Sons. We also are given to understand that at the board meeting today, 6 directors cast affirmative votes. They voted in favor of the resolution to remove Cyrus Mistry, while 2 abstained. We are also given to understand that relationship between Ratan Tata and Cyrus Mistry has been strained for about a year now. Our colleague Arun Giri, who's been breaking this big scoop after scoop, joins us now. So Arun, the decision to replace Cyrus Mistry, the term that's being used by Tata Sons, was taken a fortnight ago?
Absolutely, Shireen. We learned from top sources that this decision was probably coming for a little longer than that, but I think Mr. Tata made up his mind a fortnight ago. That is when probably, I think the senior leadership of Tata Sons, the management of Tata Sons, the board, the directors were possibly, were briefed on it, were taken into confidence, and Mr. Tata took that decision a fortnight back. And very important, Shireen, very important that today's board meeting, what we are told is that Mr. Mistry did not have too much of an inkling of what was to come. This was not on the agenda of the board meeting. Of course, every board meeting has a residuary item on the agenda, which says any other item with the permission of the chair. It's called the residuary other item on any agenda of a board meeting. That's hygiene. I think from what I know, in the residuary matter, this resolution was moved by one of the directors of Tata Sons. 6 votes were cast in favor of this resolution, 2 abstentions, and Mr. Mistry at that point, big news that we learned that Shireen, Mr. Ratan Tata tried to find an honorable exit for Mr. Mistry. We are told that just before the board meeting, Mr. Ratan Tata met Mr. Mistry one-on-one, tried to talk him into an honorable exit. Mr. Mistry is loved to have told Mr. Ratan Tata, I will face the board. He probably did not know that the board had already made up its mind. Given whatever had transpired in the last 6 or 12 months, there is absolutely no doubt about the fact, Shireen, that the board was extremely unhappy with Mr. Mistry's performance. If you can just give me 30 seconds for me to get into the Pune studio, Shireen, I think a lot has happened over the last 12 months.
Go ahead, Arun.
Including
I'll give you 5 minutes.
I think that there was a letter written by Mr. Ratan Tata to Mr. Cyrus Mistry expressing displeasure. Around 6 months ago, I am told that the reply to that letter definitely did not leave Mr. Ratan Tata happy. There also was a one-on-one meeting. We are told, between Mr. Ratan Tata and Mr. Cyrus Mistry before that letter was written. That meeting, I am told, went very horribly. It really went badly to the extent that Mr. Mistry is believed to have told Mr. Tata that he is in charge of the group. He is in charge of the group, and he knows how to run the group.
So I'll let you get into the studio, Arun. Let me just recap for our viewers while you work your way into the studio. Let me recap for our viewers. This is the latest that Arun Giri is breaking for us, that there has been a series of communication between Ratan Tata and Cyrus Mistry. We understand that relations between the two of them have been strained for the past 1 year. As Arun was pointing out, that there was a letter that Ratan Tata wrote to Cyrus Mistry expressing displeasure about certain decisions that were taken. There was also a one-on-one meeting. We didn't go very well, and in fact this morning before the board meeting as well, there was a meeting between Ratan Tata and Cyrus Mistry, but Cyrus Mistry has apparently said that he would face the board, and as we are now given to understand that a decision informally to replace Cyrus Mistry was taken about a fortnight ago. As we've also been telling you here on CNBC TV 18, that clearly this was well thought through. Legal luminaries like the former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, the former Solicitor General Mohan Parasaran, as well as Justice Ravindran were consulted by Tata Sons before taking this decision. We're also joined by our colleague Nisha Poddar. She joins us now with more details on what happens now to that GEC, that council, executive council that had been set up by Cyrus Mistry, and what now the management structure will look like, because remember, Ratan Tata comes in as interim chairman, but Cyrus Mistry had set up this GEC or executive council. So what happens to that? Nisha, what happens to the GEC?
So Shireen, that's the latest bit coming in, the GEC or the Group Executive Council with the 5 members which was constituted by Cyrus Mistry to take forward the entire strategy of the group has been dismantled. It has been done with a lot of meticulous planning, because the website also has already removed the GEC details. If we just check out the Tata Sons website right now, remember there were 5 members, Madhu Kannan, Mukund Rajan, NS Rajan, as well as Nirmalya Kumar, and also joining in as the 5th one was the Hari Bhatt. And these 5 members are not showing on the Tata Sons website right now. The group has been dismantled, which was taking forward Cyrus Mistry's agenda as the leader of Tata Group. What we do gather from sources is that the future of the GEC members who were hired by Tata Sons is still not known. At least 2 of them are expected to stay on in the group at different roles in Tata Group, but 3 could be making an exit and quitting Tata Sons. They may have been asked to put in their resignations. That process may have already begun, is what I get at this point. Of course, also to add that Docomo cannot be ruled out as one of the big reasons for the friction between Ratan Tata and Cyrus Mistry, apart from various other management issues that Arun Giri was also alluding to. So yes, Docomo, which has caused a lot of disrepute to Tata Group in terms of handling its foreign partner, has also caused a lot of friction between the old guard and the new guard. And I do gather from sources the direct knowledge that a few months back, Docomo had put in a request to connect and also to communicate only and only with Ratan Tata in this particular matter, because they had lost interest and faith in the way Cyrus Mistry and his team were handling this particular issue.
In fact, that's what we heard from Roy Rickhouse, the member or the head of the community union at Tata Steel's European or UK operations, saying very clearly that they're going to be writing to Ratan Tata and want to deal directly now with Ratan Tata, because they have expressed their displeasure on the manner in which things have been handled as far as the UK operations are concerned. Nisha, Arun, hang in there. I'm also joined now by KTS Tulsi, Supreme Court lawyer, and of course member of the Rajya Sabha. Sir, appreciate you joining us now. This looks like it is probably headed to the courts. What is your sense of what you make of the story so far? Legal opinion has been sought. Cyrus Mistry replaced as the chairman, but not as director of Tata Sons. They are terming, Shapoorji Pallonji, we understand, are terming Cyrus Mistry's removal as illegal.
Well, whatever I know about the Tata Group, they don't go to courts on these matters. This decision must have been well thought of. And the question is that Mr. Ratan Tata enjoys such a huge amount of goodwill across the world. And this is a matter of strategy. This is a difference of opinion in the philosophy. Mr. Ratan Tata had taken the group where the turnover in 1991 was 10,000 crore. From 10,000 crore, he's taken this group to 4,75,000 crores. And he's built the group with his blood, sweat and tears. And therefore, he can't see it going downhill, particularly mounting losses, the decision to sell Tata Steel, the split over the Tata Decomo, etc. Now, this is something, since Mr. Ratan Tata enjoys such a huge goodwill in the group and in other concerned conglomerates, there is no question of, I think, this matter going to court. Interim committees for search of our successor has already been constituted. Mr. Ratan Tata is only an interim chairman, and I don't see the courts interfering in these matters. These are internal management of the companies and the groups, in which the courts have very little to say.
Yes, let's go back across to our colleague Arun Giri. Now, Arun, you know, one of the issues that seems to be cropping up through the conversations that we've had and through the sources that we've been speaking to, one, of course, is the issue that you pointed out of strained relations between Cyrus Mistry and Ratan Tata. But the other seems to be an issue with management style as well as differences over strategy. Because what we are picking up from highly placed sources is that there's been a difference on Cyrus Mistry's approach to rationalizing various businesses, and that seems to have caused some friction with the Tata Sons board, is what we're given to understand. What we're also given to understand is that that Cyrus Mistry's approach of apparently not taking feedback has also not gone down too well. But Arun, you know, we've been working the phones now over the last few hours, and this looks like it is going to get A, uglier, and B, perhaps be a protracted battle.
That is something that we need to watch. You remember what Mr. Anil Ambani told at the height of the boardroom battle with his brother, Mr. Mukesh Ambani. He said there will be long nights and there will be long days. For sure, today is a long night. We have a lot of scoop here, Shireen, and I hope I can get started with some of them. What we are told is that the legal luminaries...
Oh, just go over them one by one, Arun. Go over them one by one.
Yeah. Former Finance Minister Mr. Chidambaram and former Solicitor General Mr. Mohan Parasaran were specifically consulted on one very important item. When the board meeting started today, and when the director, one of the directors in the residuary item, which is usually any other item with the permission of the chair, moved the resolution to quote-unquote replace Mr. Cyrus Mistry as chairman of Tata Sons, Mr. Cyrus Mistry told the board, or is reported to have told the board, that as per Article 121 of the Articles of Association of Tata Sons, 15 days notice is mandatory. And this is something that the Tata Trust had anticipated would happen. And when Mr. Mistry said this, we are told that these opinions, Tata Trust, probably the directors told Mr. Mistry that they had taken legal opinion on this issue, and very clearly the legal opinions were unanimous in their opinion that prima facie there is absolutely no illegality. This is being brought in as a residuary subject by one of the directors in the board meeting to replace Mr. Mistry, that Article 121 of the Article of Association of Tata Sons applies only for a fresh meeting and will not apply to an ongoing meeting where all the directors are present and the other directors would want to pass a resolution to this effect. Now, let's assume that Mr. Mistry had pressed and got the 15 days time. What we learn from our sources is, how would that have made any difference? that even if this vote had taken place after 15 days, that the resolution would still have been carried. It was carried even today by an affirmative vote of 6-0 with 2 abstentions. Very critical, 6 affirmative votes in favor. Mr. Ratan Tata tried to find an honorable way out, is what we are told. He met Mr. Mistry one-on-one before the board meeting, is what we learn. It was roughly a 25 minutes board meeting, is what we are told. In that private meeting, between Mr. Tata and Mr. Mistry, Mr. Tata tried to convince Mr. Mistry that the best way forward for the group, Tata Sons, and for everyone would be for Mr. Mistry to step down. At that point, Mr. Mistry is learned to have remarked and conveyed to Mr. Tata that he would face the board. Somewhere possibly, Mr. Mistry felt, or probably would have felt, that he still enjoyed the confidence of the board. And I'm sure he may have been a bit surprised by the fact that it was almost a unanimous, it was a unanimous resolution to replace him, from at least what we learn. 6 affirmative votes in favor. There are quite a few things. The lights are off here, so I need to really strain my eyes to read what I have noted down. I think another important point here is the difference between replace and remove. What our sources are saying is that the resolution that was brought in by the director today in the board meeting was to replace Mr. Mistry and not to remove. I'm sure we are going to talk to a lot of legal scholars over the next couple of hours. I'm still trying to figure out how could we parse those words? Replace. Wouldn't the effect of replacing someone as a chairman still be, in effect, a removal? So the consequence of replacement, I would believe, is still a removal. Then, a year back, Shireen,
Your notes.
Mr. Tata. Yeah, I'm trying to strain my eyes, but the lights off, but that's fine. A year back, Mr. Ratan Tata met Mr. Mistry. Mr. Ratan Tata met Mr. Mistry and conveyed to him a sense of displeasure over quite a few things. One of them, we are told, and which Nisha referred to right now, is the way decisions were being taken. We are told that the feeling in the board was that Mr. Mistry was running a one-man show. That a lot of deputy chairman, the vice chairman, or the executives, the senior executives, the old hands at the Tata Group were not being consulted enough, were not being given enough probably respect, and a lot of the decisions, including the Docomo one. In fact, I specifically have also taken down this about the Docomo thing. Mr. Ratan Tata and Mr. Cyrus Mistry, I think, had a serious difference of opinion about the Docomo matter, whereby Mr. Tata believed, and the board also probably bought into that belief that Mr. Mistry did not want to settle, that he wanted to litigate the Docomo matter, and which probably was not confirming. We are again and again in all our conversations with our sources, we have said that Mr. Mistry's actions were not in conformity with the Tata Group ethics, that the decisions, the leadership style, these were not Tata Group values, or these were not the ethics on which the Tata Group had been founded. We all know Tata Group has always taken fierce pride. Mr. Sohail mentioned it again and again. They take fierce pride on their values, on the ethics part of it. They believe that's an integral part of what the group stands for. And that somewhere they felt had been violated. Mr. Ratan Tata, in that private meeting with Mr. Mistry a year back, did convey, and the answer, we are told, was quite shocking, and which rattled not only Mr. Tata, but we are told even the board, where Mr. Mistry is believed to have told Mr. Ratan Tata, if not in as many words, to this effect, that I know how to handle this business and I do not need an interference from anyone, is essentially what was communicated in almost as many words to Mr. Ratan Tata. And 6 months back, Mr. Ratan Tata is believed to have communicated very strongly about the way the group is being run by Mr. Mistry in a letter to Mr. Mistry. And again,
Okay.
we are told that the response
All right,
from Mr.
Arun,
Mistry
I'll come back
was
to you in
quite
just a
disappointing
second.
to both Mr. Tata and the board.